Like, how do you balance 2 full-time jobs?
It's tough. Anything I do, I want to be 100% at. What I need to do now is realize where we're at and grow the business.
Welcome back to the Regular Report. Today, we got Davina Chant, which is owner-operator with her husband of Twisted Trotters. And Trotter, sorry, there's no S.
Right, correct.
See, I already screwed something up, right? But it's authentic, right? So anyways, you not only own and operate that business with your husband, you full-time work, so you're an entrepreneur, you created a business, you help out real producers in so many different ways at all of our events. So we're excited to have Davina here on this podcast to share what it's like running and operating a business, but also working full-time and how that all came to fruition. So excited to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
So you just got, congratulations, citizenship, right?
Yes.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
You're from Canada.
Originally, yes.
But I don't
Niagara
really
Falls.
hear the A's because remember, I was in North Dakota. So usually I hear A, or a pretty heavy accent. So you've kind of lost it then a little bit.
You might hear an about.
Oh,
People
about.
say
Yeah.
about, about.
Yeah. Mine, everyone says I'm from like somewhere else when I say like boat or bag. And they're like, all right, what's wrong with you? You're saying those weird. But other than that, I've subdued it a little bit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
anyway, so you're from Canada. You've been working full-time with sales and real estate. So tell us a little bit about your background in regards to that. And because you're still currently working, right? But then we're going to transition to how you became an entrepreneur. You had this idea and even started another business. But let's learn a little bit more about current day, or what led up to current day.
Yeah. I got my real estate license at the age of 21 in Canada, worked with my mom and partner in crime
Love
in real
that.
estate. We worked at actually a few different types of brokerages, but my mom, I was kind of raised in the real estate world. My mom, she had a brokerage. She owned her own brokerage herself.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
then 21 came around. I got my real estate license. We worked together on a team. And then a year later, one of our clients worked with Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
No
And-
way.
Yeah. So
Robert
Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. So they saw what I was doing and they wanted me to hop on board on their sales team. So I started at that level.
That's so
And
cool.
yeah, and I traveled for years, Thursday through Monday, all over North America, parts of the UK. So it was pretty exciting growing up.
Really?
And
How quick did traveling get annoying though?
it's
No?
no. I mean, I was flying first class. Yeah, it's the perks.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're like, ooh, I wish, right?
Yeah.
It's always better though. The first class, business class, when I would fly overseas, it's always better when someone else buys because now you go to look at it, you're like, ouch, I don't want to spend that, right?
Yeah, no, I know now it is. Right?
Yeah.
I had
That's
diamond medallion status, so I
Right.
got the perks, which was nice. Same with the hotels. I loved it. I was young and got to go and travel all over.
Yeah.
So really loved that and started working with them and really enjoyed it. And now I am director of sales for a company based out of Canada, and I run their Canadian and their U.S. division.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the company called?
Keyspire.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you primarily do? Like, what do you primarily sell?
So we run events where we teach people how to invest in real estate in any given market, multiple different strategies. I run the sales team, so I work with the speaker presentations, the sales team, the entire flow, CRMs, pipelines, and doing the whole sales process. That's what I do there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of that, what you do, has carried over to what you're currently doing today with Twisted Trotter?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I never bartended a day in my life, and here I own a bartending company.
Right.
But I mean,
Your husband never did either.
no, he didn't. And but it's been exciting to learn the process, and I've got the pros on the team, and I've just learned so much. I think what was key to our success with the Twisted Trotter is having those systems in place that my background knowledge
Correct.
in sales, marketing, systems and CRMs and so forth.
And that's the thing, like, they're all different vehicles, right? Every business is a different vehicle in some way, but you still need to be able to know how to like drive, right? The basics. And I think that's what people forget to realize is like basic systems, basic, communication with your clients, basic follow-up. those basic stuff that you obviously are teaching to a lot of people and implementing yourself on a daily basis, you're able to do with your business.
That's right. Yeah.
So I know from a little information that you actually wanted to do more food trucks, right, originally?
Yeah, that was the start. We wanted to just have a
Why
side.
food trucks?
We love to cook.
Okay.
We love to cook, and I personally think my husband has some amazing recipes that we would want to share with the world, I feel.
Yeah.
And same here. I love to cook. So
Love that.
we wanted to start with something that we had a passion for.
Yeah, which is
And that-
important.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But then here comes the Twisted Trotter, where I also love to decorate, and I have a big vision and attention to detail and so forth. So I have a huge passion for what we do and how we chose this route.
So food truck didn't work. What was the main reason why you didn't do food truck?
Breaking down the numbers, to be honest, I broke down the numbers. It just didn't align with the ROI that I was looking
Right.
for.
Yeah.
And
Well, because you got to dedicate a lot of time. It's all your free time. You're still working full time. So it's got to
Right.
make sense for you,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
It might make sense for someone that, that's their day to day, right? And but if you're going to spend all your free time and you give up all that extra time away from your family, then wow, it's got to make sense
Exactly.
financially.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no food truck, but then there was a horse trailer, right?
Yes.
Charlie?
Charlie.
It's a good name. That's my dad's name, right?
Oh.
So it's a good name. So tell me about that. How did that come to fruition?
Started looking at just other ideas and came across a horse trailer bar. And there was a specific company out of Tampa that gave me that inspiration to start with the horse trailer bar. So we picked up a homemade horse trailer, started converting it. It took us 7 months to do that. We documented the entire process on Facebook and Instagram. And it was kind of, it was fun because we had a lot of people just kind of reach out and just say, hey, like just encouraging us along the way. And then we had our first bride reach out. Stephanie, I'll never forget her name.
Nice.
And
Shout out to Stephanie.
Yes. And she saw my vision even while we were, renovating this horse trailer. And she contracted us even before it was completed. So that was
Believed in
kind
you.
of the beginning
I love
of
that.
getting into the wedding side of things and all the wedding events that we do. And just building so many great relationships with vendors, venues, and so forth. But yeah.
So walk us through the mental thought process, right? You saw this horse trailer. What'd you tell your husband? Like, what'd you guys think? Like, we're gonna renovate this, and what was your vision?
That's a story in itself. My husband was set on the food truck, and so I had to unsell him and then resell him on this new idea. So it took a while,
Okay.
but then he saw the vision as well, and that's how he went with it.
Yeah.
He wanted.
He's so
to,
handy too, and
Yeah.
he's awesome.
Yeah. We call him the integrator. He makes everything come to life. I'm the visionary. And
Ooh, you just hit on a nail on a head. Like, you hit something so important that I actually was talking to someone else yesterday about. Like, my mom instilled something on me very young because she was in corporate, talking about CEOs versus COOs, right? And that integrator versus visionary, right? How
That's right.
critical is that been for your business?
integral. We kind of say to each other that we couldn't do it without each other. Having that vision coming from me and then him just making it happen and putting it in place and just the outcome overall. When we see our clients and their faces and their, just how much they're happy with the output that we do, it's worth it. That's why I do it.
Good.
On top of the full
Well,
time.
as a happy client, we obviously love it and appreciate it, and everyone does. I mean, the raving reviews are seriously for you and your team. Each and every event, since the very first event we started working together to the last event. Every time we always, together figuring out different things, coming up with creative ideas. You guys have wonderful ideas that we try to implement, different things like that. So
Thank you.
It has been amazing. So I want to ask you, what was your vision exactly? If you could remember that day that you made the commitment that you're going to buy a horse trailer, what were there some of those things? And then is that the exact same vision as you have today, or has it changed?
It started with just building out the horse trailer. I didn't expect for it to become what it is today, but as we continued on, realized that the horse trailer didn't fit everywhere. So we had to start adapting and adding new mobile bars, unique mobile bars, and just for different types of events. So as that started growing, my vision started growing. And today I have a very large vision for it. And I'm excited. We've been working on some new things for our clients. We do a lot of customization as well.
That's so
it
cool.
Definitely has changed.
And that's the thing is, you can pivot, right? You have to pivot, right, in any business. But I do think having that unified like goal or vision is so important, right? Because you got to have something somewhere that you're trying to go, right?
Yeah. I like to say, too, that we always strive to differentiate ourselves and, just evolve and grow. And so that was part of why we're looking at a bigger picture now.
That's cool.
I say that this was a passion that kind of blew up unexpectedly, but I was happy. Our clients love what we do, and we love to do it.
Yeah. So you have obviously multiple clients. You do different events. How many events are you on track to do this year? How many kind of did you do last year?
Yeah, so just overall, we've been in business for 3 years now, only 3 years.
That's amazing.
And we've completed over 200 so far to date. We're really big into the wedding industry, but in the last year and a half, we've also broken into the corporate world, which we also love.
My assumption, I don't know the answer to this. That's why these are live and or not live, but like authentic, right? Because I don't have scripted answers and questions or anything. Knowing you though, and knowing your past and your business, what are some of the requirements or pillars of your business that you make sure that are staples for not only how your clients are treated or how your employees act? Like you guys do wonderful things, right? Talk about that. Do you have specific goals and staples and requirements by your staff? Do you set them prior? Like walk us through that.
Definitely. One of the things that vendors often ask us is, how do you get such amazing team, your bartending team? How do you even find them? And that is kind of our secret sauce. I know my husband says that I'm the secret sauce, but it's really our team. And we consider ourselves elevated. It's all about creating an experience. We're not just, I don't say just bartenders, but we are more than that. My whole team is. And so it's having first a vision for that. I want to first understand, too, what our client wants. What is their vision? How can I not only capture that, but also exceed it? So overall, it's the experience as far as that goes. We also have other systems in place behind the scenes, but that's what it's really all about.
So you pretty much listen to your clients and adapt to it. And you obviously are in a business to please people, right? In a service business, and that's what you do. And so if you're an entrepreneur or you're in business or getting into business, I think that's a big takeaway that people need to understand is that if you continue to add value and service people, you will succeed, and people will spread your name so quickly, right? Look at you guys, 3 years, 200-something events. And here's the deal, and I'm saying this truthfully, not just because you're my vendor, but like I've used other ones in the past. You guys stepped in, we gave you guys a shot, and you exceeded our expectations. But you didn't just do it once. You did it time after time after time. In each event, we get better and better, and you come up with new ideas, and you figure out new things, and each time I'm blown away, And guess what? Other people have approached us. Hey, we'd love to do this, or I'd love to, quote you out this, for your events. I'm like, nope, we're good.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't even see the quote, right? Because first of all, you guys are reasonable and fair, right, from a price standpoint, and you exceed my expectations, right? So I want people to understand that from a business standpoint, right? If you're going to not only try to procure new relationships with, a future client, you also need to keep those people as clients, right? And so work on the systems in place that you've done, right? Or whatever business you're working on, work on the systems to keep those people, right? Keep them happy, and you'll keep growing.
Yeah,
And
thank
word of mouth spreads pretty quick, huh?
Yes, it does. I appreciate it. Yeah,
So-
it's about keeping those relationships, nurturing them, and that's what I think we're most proud of. Really, is that word of mouth.
So it's not like you have this vision and you're just sitting at home all day working on the next bar cart, the next whatever. You have a full-time job. How do you do it? Like, how do you balance two full-time jobs?
It's tough. Bottom line, it's extremely tough, especially in season. Anything I do, I want to be 100% at.
Right.
And so if I fall below that slightly, that gets to me, because I feel like I'm a perfectionist. And what I need to do now is realize where we're at and grow the business. And so just having more people in place that can do similar activities or tasks that I do, mainly for this business, for the Twisted Trotter. I think that's key. So
Yeah.
I guess I have to let go a little bit.
How hard is that?
It's hard. It is. It's hard.
So challenging for me. Like, I admit I like having a pulse on it.
Yeah.
And you always should have a pulse of some sort, but I like to have almost full control,
Yeah.
and so relinquishing control is very difficult. When you look at it from a numbers standpoint, right, when you're running a business, you have to let go control, right? There's no way for you to go to the next level without relinquishing control, but emotionally, it's very tough,
Yeah.
at least for me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of I guess you'd say perfectionist, control freak on it. Like, I gotta make sure it's good, right? And so I understand that. So you're on that next stage where you're ready to kind of relinquish and grow.
Yeah.
You have amazing people, and you said it earlier. What is the secret sauce? Every business says, "Oh, I can't find anyone. I can't find anyone," and it is no. It's the society we live in. It's hard. Is there something that you'd give to a business owner that's looking to grow their team? Advice, and it doesn't have to be for bartending services, right? It would just be for in general to get a good employee. What would you recommend to them?
Well, I have two types of teams right now that I actually manage, right? I have my sales team, and then I also have my bartending team. It first starts with having just really great conversations and interviews. And then I also rely on my current team to give me referrals because they know what my expectations are. And so when I get those referrals, then I look at them a little differently, and I will have a more serious conversation. I might even be quicker to give them an opportunity. And so it's really, I think that's the key is setting those expectations, and then your team is referring and having great interviews is key.
So
and then also I would have to say too is you've got to pay them well, right? And we do. And, and they love, on the bartending side of things, our bartenders love it because it is different from, say, bartending in a restaurant. Different type of clientele. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
They're not telling their life story
Right.
over and over again.
Right.
And tips aren't bad.
What I'm hearing about this, it's really not what you know, it's who you know, right? And you're using your sphere of influence in this sense, right? Your current great staff to get the word out and say, hey, if you're happy where you're at, spread it around. Who else do you know? And that's the thing. It's the power of what is it? One connection away, or one. And it's like it's where it's like one thing of separation. Anyways,
ninth degree of separation.
ninth degree. There you go. Thank you. Ninth degree of separation, right? So it's like you're very close to someone else, and you just don't know it yet. So
Yeah.
I'd say this: go out and ask. Right?
Yeah.
You don't know until you at least ask.
Yes.
Right.
Key.
So you obviously have now in the 3 years built a business, right? Now you're at the point of growing, right? So what are some steps that you're taking besides, hiring some people? What are you guys looking to do from a business standpoint to take it to the next level?
So yes, like you said, it is about scaling. to take it to the next level, it's always about having another inspiration that I want to get to. I do a lot of research, what's out there and what can I incorporate into our business today that our guests are going to love. It's all about the experience is what I'm aiming for. And so I do a lot of research with that respect, and then I'll have inspirations, and then I implement them, and I get the feedback from our clients. Again, too, it's from our clients. What do you want? How would you like to see your next event elevate? So that's what I look for, is that feedback and do the research.
Love that. Always curious about this. The name. How'd you come up with the name?
So Twisted is alcohol and just having fun times. And the Trotter it started with our horse trailer.
Yeah.
Although we are more than a horse trailer bar now today.
You're much more. That's why it's funny because I know obviously who you are and what your business are. And sometimes they're like, Twisted Trotter. I'm like, we don't even use the horse trailer usually.
No, I know.
We got everything else, right?
Yeah. Honestly, we have thought about rebranding and maybe changing our name, but I just love it so much. And that's where we originated from. So, and then Charlie, to go back to Charlie, there was a horse when I was growing up in Canada, Niagara-on-the-Lake, and there was always a horse trailer, like a horse, with the buggy and carriage in this quaint little town, and his name was Charlie, and I just love Charlie, so I carried it on.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Now, you can say no on this next question, but what is that next vision for you guys? Or is it kind of still a secret? Like what, you'd said inspiration, that next journey, that kind of what you want to do, right? Besides obviously pleasing your clients, which you guys are doing and you're going to continue to do. But like, is it another like facet of the business you're trying to get into, or what is it?
What I would really like to do is to get into, say, the big hotels. Right now, there's certain reasons why we cannot, which I'm working on so that we could. And there are some inspirations out of Miami that I'm looking at, and they're doing it. So I want to find out how can we. That is my next goal, is to, the Ritz-Carltons. We've done some events with them, but how can we do that? How can we get there?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Go big, right?
Yeah.
Go big or go home, my dad always said, right?
That's right.
Good stuff.
Just not the festivals. I don't want to get into the festivals.
That would be huge. I mean, there's a lot going on at those, but
I know.
That looks like just absolute chaos.
Yeah. I mean, stadiums are pretty cool, but still.
But you guys have such a...
It's a different...
Yeah, and you guys have such a personal touch to it.
Right.
That I feel like you'd lose that at that point.
I agree. And that's...
You'd just be kind of filling bodies and turning out drinks.
And I don't want, that's not us. I don't want that. And also to go back to your question is, I want to elevate even more as far as our presentations for drinks. So we do a good job right now, but we can do better.
There's a Netflix show that I saw on one time.
I binge watched
Really?
it. Yes, I can't remember the name of it, but I binge watched it.
I've never bartended or like done any of that. And it was just on one time, and I was doing something around the house, and I don't know why I was on. But anyways, I watched like one episode, and I was like, well, this is interesting. But yeah, it just made me think they were always elevating and getting really creative on the drinks. Food too, yeah.
They incorporated food into these.
You're right, it was food too.
Yes.
It was a long time ago. So.
I mean, all the ingredients that they use, like they're cooking to make these special ingredients into their cocktails. And it's a lot of work, especially when we have, we do large events, a lot of people, right? So
what's the biggest event you guys have done?
500 for now.
That's a lot of people.
We do it commonly too, like quite often, but yes.
So, well, that's cool. And I will say this from a client, you guys have always done really fun drinks. And I think that's what sets you guys apart to my clients the most, right? Even though I'm your client in a sense, my clients give me the feedback, right? And that's what keeps me happy. And why, obviously, like I shared, that continue to use you guys. They, the people we're dealing with too, they're not at the bar to get drunk.
Right.
Right. they're at a gathering with extremely high professional individuals in their industry in regards to real producers. They want to build relationships. They want to sip. They might be a little nervous, so they have a cocktail to get the edge off. We also deal with realtors, right? They just like to drink in general. But like most of the time, they do want maybe a drink or two. They're like, and they want it fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, per example, my wife, like, she is not a drinker, but the only time she drinks is when it's a fun drink. That's her. Like, then she's like, oh my God, like Valco and his team at sales make this lychee martini, and she loves it. It's different. It's unique.
We'll have to make
it's
that
fun.
for her.
There you
Next
go.
one.
Right? And so, it's like something like that like she enjoys it. And that is the experience. Like, you go to these, I can't stand it. You go to these like X, Y, and Z event, and it's just, there's nothing there. And it's just a little club soda. And like, why would I drink that? First of all, I'm a health guy, and I'm trying to like, be healthy. Like, if I'm going to have a drink, I want it to be at least enjoyable. I don't want to just drink it, and the empty calories. So, yeah.
I've got a drink for you then.
Ooh.
I do.
Can you share it? Share it on here, or is it a surprise?
No, I'm going to surprise you with it.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys will see it at a future event.
Yes. Yep.
I love it. Well, I have one last question for you, okay? Because we are getting close to the time here. Someone is in your shoes, and they're at that point where they're in their career. They might have a healthy career, but they are not at all peaked out. They know they have so much more potential. They have so much dreams and aspirations to do something else, and they're ready to maybe do a side business or start something up, and they just don't know where to start, right? They're just struggling. What's your single best advice to someone in that situation that is ready to start an adventure on the side in conjunction with their job or whatever, or they're just someone that wants to be an entrepreneur? What would you advise?
Just do it. Just start. That's how, if you don't start, nothing's going to happen. You're going to put it off to the side of the desk. There is some planning, there's some research involved, do that. But the sky's the limit, as we hear, right? And I have another business, in my sales where I love it. I love everything that I do there. And then this was a passion business that I also see a great vision for and expanding. So I think it's just starting, because there were other businesses that I was thinking about in the past that never came to light. And I'm so glad. I thank myself every day that I did do this. I took that step forward, and I had no idea where it was going to lead to and how fulfilling it was going to be. So just do it. Just do it.
Sponsored by Nike. Just kidding. Davina, it has been an absolute pleasure. I want to, first of all, thank you so much for what you guys have done for all of, obviously, real producers and everything there. But I also want to thank you for coming on here and sharing your story, sharing how you're, rocking 2 full-time jobs, family, everything like that. You're killing it. So appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to join and share some information to our listeners. So thanks for joining us.
I want to thank you as well. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for taking us on as one of your vendors.
Yes.
And we thoroughly enjoy it, every one of your events.
Can't wait. We'll see you guys at the next ones. Thank you for coming on, and thank you guys for listening on the Reg and Hard Report. We'll see you guys in the next episode.